Morning, friends. Let's read a page before it on my day. Here we are on page 28. We're going to start with the italics. A feeling of opulence must precede its manifestation. That means like you have abundance. Opulence is like abundance. So you have to believe you are wealthy or full. Opulence doesn't have to be money. It can be a fullness inside, like believing you are loved, believing you matter. It dawned on her one day she was resisting the situation and seeing two powers instead of one, so she blessed the man and baptized the situation's success. She affirmed, is this where I'm at? I don't think this is where I'm at. This is a good line. I'm sorry, okay. Baptizing the situation a success. I love that. Did I mark where we are? Maybe I didn't. I think it is where we are. All right, let's just start here. Every man is a golden link in the chain of my good. For all men are God in manifestation, awaiting the opportunity given by man himself to serve the divine plan of his life. Bless your enemy, and you rob him of ammunition. I need that. Bless your enemy, and you rob him of ammunition. His arrows will be transmuted into blessings. This law is true of nations as well as individuals. One's ships come in over a calm sea. So long as man resists a situation, he will have it with him. That's so good. Because you're like, some people are like, this sucks. People, I don't like people. But the only thing that really bothers me is people that just complain about everything, because if you're complaining, try to do something about it. Resolve the situation. You have to change your mindset, because what people are is just in the way you perceive them in general. There's extreme situations, of course. Let's see. So long as a man resists a situation, he will have it with him. If he runs away from it, it will run after him. For example, I repeated this to a woman one day, and she replied, "How true that is. I was unhappy at home. I disliked my mother, who was critical and domineering, so I ran away and married. I married my mother, for my husband was exactly like my mother, and I had the exact same situation to face again. Agree with thine adversary quickly." That means agree that the adverse situation is good. Be undisturbed by it, and it falls away of its own weight. That's such a relief to hear that, because when we have a difficult situation, we're like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? All we do is think about the problem. Even though we are trying to solve it, all we're doing is still thinking about the problem, believing that there is a problem. Agree that the adverse situation is good. Be undisturbed by it, and it falls away of its own weight. A wonderful affirmation is, none of these things move me. The inharmonious situation comes from some inharmony within man himself. When there is in him no emotional response to an inharmonious situation, it fades away forever from his pathway. We see man's work is ever with himself. People have said to me, give treatments to change my husband or my brother. I reply, no, I will not give treatments to change you. I reply, no, I will give treatments to change you. When you change, your husband and your brother will change. One of my students was in the habit of lying. I told her it was a failure method, and if she lied, she would be lied too. She replied, I don't care. I can't possibly get along without lying. One day she was speaking on the phone to a man with whom she was very much in love. She turned to me and said, I don't trust him. I know he's lying to me. I replied, well, you lie yourself, so someone has to lie to you. You may be sure it will be just the person you want the truth from. Sometime after that, I saw her and she said, I'm cured of lying. I questioned, what cured you? She replied, I've been living with a woman who lied worse than I did. One is often cured of his faults by seeing them in others. Life is a mirror. We find only ourselves reflected in our associates. Living in the past is a failure method and a violation of spiritual law. Jesus said, behold, now is the accepted time. Now is the day of salvation. Lot's wife looked back, and she was turned into a pillar of salt. The robbers of time are the past and the future. Man should bless the past and forget it if it keeps him in bondage, and bless the future, knowing it has in store for him endless joy. Live fully in the now. This section that we've read today is saying, basically, yes, we have problems. There's lots of worries in the world. You can't solve them by worrying about them. All you can do is live in the moment and see the joy that surrounds you right now. Slowly, all the problems will dissolve. Just watch and see. It's hard to believe. You have to experience it to believe it. I know I've experienced it in my life. Have a great day.